This is Father Dominic Holtz coming to you from South Bend, Indiana, with a word of hope for Friday of the 19th week in Ordinary Time, the memorial of St. Maximilian Kolbe. Why don't we let children make life-changing decisions for themselves? Well, we could say it's because their reason isn't yet developed, and that's true. Could be that they don't really understand what they're doing, and that's probably also true. Children often make great promises, but we know they generally can't keep them. But the real underlying reason is because they don't have the relevant kind of freedom. To be truly free is not merely to do this or that, but it's to be able to commit oneself wholly to something in an irrevocable way. Not to be able to change your mind is not really a sign of a lack of freedom, but it's a sign of true freedom, to be able fully to give yourself over to something. That's what we hear about in today's gospel when it speaks of marriage. Marriage is unique in human life as being a way that a man and a woman give themselves entirely, their whole persons, over to one another so that the two become one flesh. And it is precisely out of this freedom to be able to give oneself to another, that marriage cannot be dissolved. That's the truth about marriage. It's also a truth about martyrdom. It's precisely this freedom that allows the martyrs to give their lives over for the sake of another, for witnessing to Christ. St. Maximilian Kolbe was willing in the concentration camp to give over his own life, to die, that another man might live, because he knew the love of Christ. He knew in Christ he had all the life he would ever want, and have it abundantly. And so, out of love, out of generosity, he could freely give his own life away, because he knew that by losing it, he would gain it eternally. Finally, it is God himself who is ultimately and most truly free, and that is what we hear also in the prophet Ezekiel. However wayward Israel was, God would never abandon Israel. Israel, as God's bride, would never be finally rejected by God. God would lead her back to him because God always and forever keeps his promises. God, who is most truly free, therefore is most truly and firmly reliable. So, brothers and sisters, we can rely on God. We can rely that God will never abandon us, that God will give us the strength to, in our freedom, say yes to him because he has irrevocably said yes to us. And that, my brothers and sisters, is a word of hope.